Hey guys and welcome. Look, I wanted to make a video on the top 5 best pistols in Insurgency Sandstorm because I know that it can be hard in deciding which pistol may be the best, which one is more powerful. Will it one-shot kill? Will it two-shot kill? Will it 15-shot kill? Should I go the 1911 or the M9, or maybe should I go the Deagle? And guess what? You might think the answer is obvious because, well, look at the Deagle. It's insane, it's big, and so therefore it's the best. But I'm here to tell you that is not necessarily the case. Just because it's a big, fat 50 cal, it doesn't mean it has the highest DPS. But this is why we are here. We are here to solve all those mysteries, to solve all those dilemmas, and to overcome all those insecurities so you can be on top of that scoreboard, have the highest points, and when you are stuck in that hairy situation, when you need to John Wick style switch to that pistol, you will be the one who comes out on top. You will be the one who will conquer that fight. Now just a quick one guys, in case you haven't seen my other videos, quickly go see them, but the area of damage we will be referring to is damage to the torso. Okay, there is no need to look at damage to the head because it is and always will be a one-shot kill with any firearm in this game. And yes, that still includes the insufficient, inadequate, useless well rod. So here we go guys, let's get straight into it. Now looking at the insurgent side first, with the number 1 highest DPS, we have the M1911. That is correct guys, you heard me right, the M1911 has a higher DPS than the Desert Eagle. Why? Well, let's get into that. The 1911 is a 45 ACP, has a damage to torso of 85.4 with an RPM of 261, giving us a fire rate of 4.3 rounds per second. This gives us a total DPS of 371.4. So I am sorry to burst your bubble, but this is higher than the Deagle. But don't worry, we will talk more about the Deagle. Another thing to mention about the 1911 is that it has a penetration of 248. That is very, very good. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe I should go the M9, as that is the other option for you, no, stop, don't even go there, complete waste of time. Yes, it costs the same, blah blah blah, but no, it has a much lower DPS value as well as a much lower penetration, and trust me, you can tell the difference. When I was running around with this guy, I did notice that I had to use way more rounds to take someone down, especially when there was some distance involved. Okay, we don't want that. So the 1911 has much better stopping power. Alright, going on to best pistol number 2 for the insurgents, we have the Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle has a damage to torso of 140. It has an RPM of 96 with a fire rate of 1.6 rounds per second. A lot slower. Well, we gotta compromise somewhere, right? It's a 50 cal, much bigger recoil, harder to control, and so on. And due to the slower firing rate, we have a total DPS value of 224. Much lower than the 1911, but the Desert Eagle has a whopping penetration of 400. Absolutely insane. So it will one-shot you. It will go through armor. You wouldn't want to be standing in this guy's way. Okay? However, it costs 4 points. So yes, it's ridiculously expensive. But we know why. It would be pretty silly to actually be running around with this guy as your secondary weapon. I mean, it's obviously a firearm we use when we don't really want to be taking the game too seriously and we just want to have some fun and blow some heads. Okay, now moving on to the security side, best weapon with the highest DPS, we have the M45, also known as the 1911. It has a 45 ACP round. It does a damage to torso of 85.4. It has an RPM of 261, which gives us a fire rate of 4.3 rounds per second. This equals a total DPS value of 367.2. So very, very decent. Now it also has a penetration of 248, and the other thing that we must consider is that it is much better than the L106A1. Okay, let's just call it a SIG because that's what it is. So this guy, the SIG, would be possibly your other option, but you don't want to go with that one because it has a much lower DPS of only 301, and it has a much lower penetration of only 200. But this is why we're here, right? We're here to figure these things out. We're here to determine which firearm is better than the other, so we don't run around wasting our time with what might seem to be one pistol exactly the same as another, but in fact it's not. So do we go the M45 or the SIG? Well, we go the M45 all day, any day. It's very cheap, only costs 2 points. It also only has a capacity of 7 rounds per magazine though, but who cares? It has way better stopping power, and if you cannot take someone out with 7 rounds, well then, yeah, you got bigger fish to fry. Now, best weapon number 2 for the security is the PF940, also known as the Glock. I assume the Glock 17, as it has a mag capacity of 17 rounds, so that's pretty cool. It is a 9mm. It does a damage to torso of 70. It has an RPM of 261, which gives us a fire rate of 4.3 rounds per second, giving us a total DPS of 301 with a penetration of 200. Now, it does cost 3 points. It's a little bit extra, but you know, how much do you love the Glock? I absolutely love the Glock. I am a Glock girl. I would take a Glock any day, any time. Huge fan of the Glocks. Alright, so best weapon, number 3 for the security, of course, I have to include the MR73, which is our beautiful, our magnificent 357 Magnum. Now, this guy does a damage to torso of 140. It has an RPM of 120, which gives us a fire rate of 2 rounds per second. This equals a total DPS of 280. Now, this revolver is both a single and double action magnum, and so I don't know why, for some reason in this game, the animation for firing this magnum is single action, which is why it takes longer to fire each round. But I suppose it looks pretty cool watching your thumb pull back that trigger. I mean, that's a pretty neat animation, so that's probably why they have it that way. Now, the other thing about this beautiful, magnificent 357 Magnum is that it has a whopping 400 penetration. So again, it will absolutely one-shot you. It will go through armor. It will go through anything. It will take out a pig. Trust me, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen someone shoot a pig with a 357 Magnum. Now, the other thing with this guy is that it costs 4 points. So it is super expensive. And so, of course, again, no one is running around with this guy as a secondary. Okay, so this is something you can use if you just want to have fun and not take the game seriously. Oh, and talk about not wanting to take the game seriously. The other thing about this guy is that you can attach an 8-inch sniper barrel as well as a 2.5 sniper scope and can literally go around sniping people with a 357 Magnum. It's absolutely insane. It's just, I find it's funny. It's hilarious. Alrighty guys, so that's it for today. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I appreciate all feedback. And the most important thing of all, guys, would you all just get along? Thank you. Adios for now.